Well, it is quite a delight for me to be standing at Garden Fever, and I'm here with Lori. And Lori, today we are going to be talking about fragrance, which seems odd kind of because we're going into winter now, but there are a lot of plants that still carry fragrance with them.
Yeah, I mean, there's plants that bloom during late winter into early spring. We think when the summer's over and all the annuals are gone, there's nothing left. But the first one that I always think about is Daphne, winter Daphne.
Right.
This is Daphne odora. It actually has a beautiful margin on it and is evergreen. You can get it in a straight green version if you want. And it has little pink buds that open to white. You can actually scent your entire backyard with one plant.
And you're very right. I mean, even walking downtown Portland, I can smell where they're planted, and they're very intoxicating. Draws
you right to it. Do little snippets, bring it inside for the winter. This is a Sarcacocca, and it comes, this is a little low ground cover one, and you can get ones that are about this high, knee high. It's got a little white fragrant flower in late winter, another evergreen, another great shade plant. And actually the Daphne too, you can do in full sun some of them, and some you can do in shade, so that's great for us. This guy right back here is Mahonia.
Yeah.
We know our native Mahonias that are either little ground covers or shrubs. This one's called Charity. It can get up to 10 feet tall. So this is like a piece of art in your yard, very statuesque. These open with very fragrant yellow blooms, and the hummingbirds love them. In the garden center here, when it's winter or early spring and those are open, we have resident hummingbirds that come in and out.
So as we're walking around here, you've also got some more in the back here. Tell me about them.
Well, you know, there's a couple different kinds of camellias that are scented. People don't usually think about those, the Sasanqua camellias. You could come into our garden center, any good garden center, and ask about the varieties for that. And then Hamamelis, and as you can see, this just doesn't have great winter, early spring scent. It has incredible fall color.
Yes.
Hamamelis is Witchhazel. This one's going to get a frilly little orange copper flower, very well scented. There's also yellow flowering varieties. Sunburst, you know, is really nice in the dead of winter when it's kind of gloomy and you look out in your yard and you've got that bright yellow happening.
Very beautiful.
Azara, another great evergreen. Again, full sun, can do also partial shade. They take very well to pruning, so you can make a hedge out of it. They're very open and graceful if you want to leave it that way. That has a little yellow flower, smells like vanilla.
It does.
Yeah, and I have a friend who had their Daphne and this planted in the same place. He had to separate them.
It was just too much fun.
It was like he would pass out when he'd walk by. It was just too strong.
You know, and to me, let's walk on over here. It always reminds me of the Cadbury Easter egg fragrance. I love that fragrance.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not always about the flower that blooms, is it?
Yeah, this is a Cupressus Wilma Goldcrest, evergreen or ever goldy limey color. It has it's called a lemon cypress. It has a scented foliage. Now, we were saying earlier, you got to really stroke it.
You got to get in there because you have to break that.
to get it going.
It's lovely fragrance.
It's beautiful, and I think even if you were trimming some of that off, it would be great inside. Oh, and then there's Edgeworthia, paperbush. This is deciduous, so it's going to drop all of its leaves, and then it's going to leave these little buds. You see there are tons on this one.
There are.
And whoops, in early spring, late winter, early spring, that's what everything is here, but there'll be these clusters of creamy yellowish white flowers, again very well scented.
And then, you know, that is wonderful shrubs, but let's talk quickly about bulbs because we can prepare for those too.
Yeah. Right now it's time to plant your snowdrops, and those are cute little short guys, some of the first flowers to bloom, bulbs at least in the spring, and those are nicely scented. And then right now also we're doing the paperwhites. Everybody knows about paperwhites, most people. I don't know if you can see this little picture here. So this is a love-hate scent.
It is, isn't it?
It's very
I love it
strong.
For the record.
Yes, yeah, and I like it too, but I can't think of what it reminds me of, but it's very sweet and lovely for me. You can force them in water in these forcing jars, or you could plant it up in a decorative pot. and then it'll bloom. In the water, it's going to take about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how warm your house is.
Well, so there you have it. You know, just because we're going into winter doesn't mean we can't still enjoy the outdoors with fragrance and beautiful colors. And you know, if you want to get more information about all of this stuff, you can certainly go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to their website. Then you can come out and visit Garden Fever yourself, one of the most adorable urban garden centers we have around. Thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you.